Order. If you would, please rise. I'm going to call on Commissioner Marshall for the invocation and the pledge.
Lord, thank you for this day that you blessed us with, a day that we've never seen. We pray for those who came to participate in their local government. Pray for those who wanted to be here but could not make it. Dear Lord, we'd like to thank you for the staff that you blessed us with to carry out the duties of our local government, commission. And Lord, we'd like to say a special prayer for our colleague who is not with us at this time, Ms. Evans. Pray that you bless her with the blessings that you know that she's in need of. We ask that you continue to shine on Lowndes County and bless us and our community as we continue to do what we feel is right. All these blessings we ask in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Marshall. Also, before we get into the business of the meeting, do we have any Leadership Lounge folks visiting with us tonight? If we do, please stand and be recognized. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. A great group. We'll be expecting big things from you. All right, well, we'll move on. Commissioners, inside your packets, you have your minutes of the work session of July the 21st, as well as your regular session minutes of July the 22nd, along with special called meeting on August the 4th. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Commissioners, also, before we get too deep, we have an additional agenda item that we would like to add to the agenda. I would call this agenda item 8E, and this would be an alternate or an appointment as an alternate for the Dangerous Dog Animal Control Board. So if they have no objections, then I would like to add that as an agenda item as 8E. Okay? All right. Appreciate it. All right, we'll move now on into our public hearing items, and our first is agenda item 7A. This is REZ 2025-12. This is Adair Estate. It's located at 4146 Highway 122. This involves 1.5 acres. It is currently EA. The request is for R1, and this will be served by well and septic. Mr. Dillard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners. Before you here is a plat from 1994 that was recorded regarding the 1.5 acres, more or less, on Highway 122. This rezoning request came in because of a permit that was requested by a potential builder to replace a home. When staff looked at the 1.5 acre property zoned EA to determine its status, it was determined that it is actually non-conforming and actually not legal, as in 1987, the county required a 5 acre minimum lot size per the zoning ordinance. This plat, as you know, was recorded in 1994, well after that date. So the reason for the request is to bring it into conformity with the ULDC to allow new homes to be put on that. You'll also notice here the property sits approximately half a mile to the east of downtown Hayhira. You'll note those properties along there, the 9 acres. Those were actually platted subdivision lots back in 1964, and why they have such unique and smaller lot sizes compared to the EA, which they should all be zoned. Again, this is in the agricultural forestry character area, which doesn't necessarily recommend R1. However, you kind of see it right there on the edge of the urban service area as well. There are touch of wetlands at the rear of the property, but not affecting any of the well and septic that would be used to serve this property in question. This is the state of the home now. This was a 1987 double wide that has been more or less damaged since Idalia and remained in this state. That's approximately 550 square feet of accessory building you see there on the left. The plan from the buyer is to demolish both of these and return with a 2,200 square foot site-built home. With that being said, the TRC did analyze the request, recommended for the approval of R1 zoning, as did the Planning Commission, voted unanimously 9-0 to recommend approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Dillard?
None, just Chairman, just want to thank you for the history and background and extenuating situation.
You're quite welcome. All right, we'll move on now to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in support of this request? Anyone that would like to speak in support? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing portion of the meeting, and Commissioners, I'll turn it back over to you for your consideration.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve with the condition and minimum of a 2,200 square feet house
Okay?
as requested.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the request with a condition of a 2,200 square foot home be built on the property. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. We'll move on now to public hearing item 7B, and this is REZ 2025-13. This is ENCC LLC. This is located at 9353 Georgia Highway 135 and October Lane. This is 1 acre. It is currently EA. The request is for CC. This as well will be served with a well and septic system. Mr. Dillard.
Thank you, sir. As stated, this is a 1 acre lot out on 135 that was created in about 2016 or 2017 by deed. Again, this property has continually been used for many years now by Riley Church Pews. It has since changed hands a few times. It is now currently being owned and operated as ENCC, Eric Newsom Custom Cabinets. And the requesting here is for the commercial zoning to bring this property into compliance as well. You notice again that the ag forestry character area only recommends CC as appropriate zoning, and thus staff followed its recommendation. There are no wetlands to speak of on the property in particular, and you'll notice that there is a bit of a low density pattern here for residential use, mainly by family. This is the side of the property, approximately a 6,000 square foot metal shop you see there, the Riley property to the north. Again, here's another view of the property with the smaller accessory building next to the 6,000 square feet. One of the conditions that staff did recommend, along with some restriction of uses, is that October Lane, required to be paved if proposed access to the property is shown on a development plan by the applicant. The other condition is that no alcohol package stores, cemeteries, funeral homes, mini storage, kennels with outdoor runs, and vehicle sales shall not be allowed if approved for CC zoning. With that being said, the TRC just did want to note that commercial zoning does require buffering, as you'll note there, which may be reduced if an opaque fence is constructed. But the Planning Commission heard the request, and again, hearing from the applicant's representation, who's also here tonight, hearing no objection, recommended approval with the condition stated 9-0.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dillard. Any questions for Mr. Dillard?
Mr. Dillard, did you say something about they were having to pave that private drive?
Yes, sir, that was a proposed condition if the applicant is proposing access off of October Lane.
Only if there's access off of that lane?
Yes, sir.
But now, October Lane is a private road.
Yes, sir.
Private lane, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All right, hearing none, we'll open up the public hearing portion of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, is there anyone that would like to speak in support of this request? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Chairman, Commissioners, Jack Langdale, 701 North Patterson. I am here tonight on behalf of Eric Newsom, the principal of ENCC LLC, the owner of the property. First, I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about Eric and how I've known him. He did the cabinets in my personal house and did a great job. He showed up when he said he was going to show up, did what he said he was going to do, and just had a great relationship with him throughout the process. Eric's 48 years old. He keeps about 6 employees. He's from Lakeland originally, but just runs a small business, works really hard, exactly who you want working in Lowndes County. So we've gotten him from Lanier County over to Lowndes County. He's been doing a little more work here. And a little history about the property is in the 70s, Mr. J.C. Riley, who's actually here tonight, started his church pew business there, and he built church pews for many years since the 70s. The property was sold in 2016 to Superior Custom Cabinets, and a cabinetry shop was operated there from then until it was sold in 2023, and OVS Plumbing acquired it. There was a plumbing business run back there for a period of time, and also another cabinet business. Eric bought the property through ENCC in 2024, and he started operating the cabinetry business the same way that the predecessors have been running similar businesses since the 70s. And as far as I know, there haven't been any complaints about his operation of the business there. Everything was running fine, just continuously running as it has been. He doesn't have a big showroom. There's not a lot of additional traffic. There's no nuisance, noise, no odor, nothing that would make his business cause any offense to any of the neighbors. I understand there was a complaint called into the county, and I don't know the specifics about it, but I think there was something about a pile of hurricane debris or something. I'm not even really sure what got it started, but somebody went out there to inspect and dug into what he was doing and learned that the operations weren't in compliance with the zoning, which has brought us here tonight. So this isn't something that Eric initiated because he wants to be entrepreneurial and do a big development out there. He's just continuing to do what's always been done since the 70s in that building. And he just wants to get back to work. So appreciate your consideration tonight. Be happy to ask any questions you'll have of me.
Any questions for the speaker?
Jack, there's no intentions to do any additions, any improvements to the property. Is that what you're stating, right?
He just wants to continue to operate his business like he is right now. And, you know, you can't, I'm not saying he won't ever hire another employee or two, but that's all we're asking for tonight is for y'all to grant the recommendations of the rezoning and the restrictions that were placed on it before we've already reviewed, and I spoke with Eric with him. We're fine with that.
All those previous businesses operated out of that metal building shell?
That's my understanding. Mhm.
Is he using October Lane now for ingress and egress, or is it being Sulphur Spring?
I think there is another entrance there that they are currently using.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Langdon.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in support of this request? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
My name is J.C. Riley. I live at 9369 Georgia Highway 135, Naylor, Georgia. Right to the property there, probably, 46 years or more. I just want to allude what has been said. I have no problem with Eric running the business there because when I built the shop, that's what a church pew company. So in other words, for that, you know, as long as he keep it up and do what he need to do. And of course now if you want to expand, then we might have a little bit of problem, but right now it's no problem with it. So in other words, so I hope that y'all go ahead and approve it on that. But for the record, if we can go back, I know records comes up and records be lost. So in other words, in 1977, the property was zoning for our church pews for building. Because I bought the property in 73. Because I'd already started right of church pews in Lanier County in Stockton, Georgia. When I moved there, I needed more land, so I got 2 acres there to do that. And so when I got there and started, 4 years later, Mr. Sutton, I think, that had his job, that came and said, you know, you are working illegal. I said, no. As far as I know, there was no zoning, for other words, for having a business in the county during that time. It may have been, but I didn't know that. So in 1977, from Mr. Fred Deloach and Norman Bennett, Board of Chitty is the one that made the decision to put it in commercial. And ever since then, it's in commercial until 2000, when I lost the shop. During that time, it took me about 9 months to get it back. During that time, Mrs. Arnella Pennington was what actually had your job during that time. She came out and asked me was I was going to rebuild the shop. I said, yeah. She said, well, no problem. But when we started trying to find, they found out and said that wasn't zoned. So then I got with Ms. Pennington and Ms. Carmilla. And so we worked and worked at it, and it took us a few weeks and months to find the record, but we did find the records. So that's 20-some-odd years prior to that. So that is the records, that it was. And so what my point is that I don't want the rest of the younger members to think that I use that particular land illegal running the business around the church pews. So I hope they can find the records and put that in the minutes, you know, that so one day it's going to come up again. But that's for the records, if it please. But I don't want my name to go around in I did something illegal for 40-some-odd years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. All right, anyone else who would like to speak in support? All right, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing portion of the meeting. Commissioners, I'll turn it over to you for your consideration.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve with the said conditions.
Okay, the motion is to approve with the list of conditions. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Chairman, my only thought is, could we look, I know we got to get things that are unconforming in line, that are grandfathered in. Could we look at maybe more of a streamlined process for other properties that may want to move in this direction?
Certainly, we can look at those, but that'd probably be a discussion for another time, rather than attach it in anything on this particular case here. So, any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I would ask that Commissioner Marshall consider rephrasing condition number 2. I've just got a little concern over that, because I don't feel like it's enforceable to simply say any vehicular ingress or egress off of October Lane shall require him to pave the street. I feel like that if the board so chose, I'd rather it read that at such time that he did an expansion to the property or something that required a building permit, that then this be considered. Because right now, I mean, I don't want the man to be in fear of using October Lane to go in and out. You know, and I mean, are we gonna be able to enforce that?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure. Chad Mike can help us. Chad, I don't want to put you on the spot, but since it's a private road,
I'll take Chad
handle
off the spot there, Mr.
all
Chairman.
right.
I would question the legality of us requiring someone to pave someone else's private property.
Right.
I understand from a standard ingress and egress from a public safety standpoint, how and why that probably became a part of the conversation, but to Commissioner Ornstein's point, I don't know that legally we could get there from here.
Can we strike that?
So I'll amend the motion to strike the October Lane paving requirement unless a permit is,
yeah, if we just strike October
Just
Lane,
strike that
it's
in
not an
the-
issue. We can
okay.
address it if there is a future need for that.
I think the future conversation would be whatever at that point, based on the use, would be deemed the appropriate ingress and egress for the property.
At that point. So your motion,
So moved,
reframe your
amended.
motion would be to, with the exceptions other than the ingress and egress off of October Lane.
yes.
Okay. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you, Commissioners. All right, we'll now move on to Agenda Item 7C, and this is the Comprehensive Plan Kickoff for 2026. Mr. Dillon.
Yes, sir. At your last commission meeting, you authorized the Regional Commission to provide technical assistance in our comprehensive plan kickoff. We have members of the Regional Commission here tonight, Mr. James Horton, Planning Director, to give us a little more update on that process and moving forward. So I'm going to turn it over to him now, and then we'll invite the public to speak about the comprehensive plan in general. Mr. Horton?
Okay. Welcome, Mr. Horton.
Thank you. Thank you, JD, for that introduction. Like you said, I'm James Horton with the Southern Georgia Regional Commission, Planning Director, and I have here with me tonight, she's somewhere in the room, Michaela Brown. There she is. She's back in the back taking photos. She's a planner with us as well. We're going to be working together on your comprehensive plan update. We also have two other planners, Marcus McConico and Alexandra Arzias, that we can bring in to the process as well to provide input throughout the process. So what we're here for tonight is the official legal public hearing to kick off the comprehensive plan update process. At this point, the public hearing is a simple process that we will just be going through to give you a little bit of explanation about what we will be doing. And let's see here. Okay, so where this all started, and I know you all, some of you commissioners have been through this in the past, and you're very well familiar with the process and how important the process is. It stems from the Georgia Planning Act of 1989, which requires that all governments in the state do a comprehensive plan. They have to put together a comprehensive plan and update a comprehensive plan every 5 years. Regional commissions are the semi-governmental agency that are assigned to work with you all to assist you through this process. And we are 1 year out, basically, from your comprehensive plan expiration date. So we're a little more than that. We're about 15 months out right now. So we're starting today on the process of your update. So we already talked about the Georgia Planning Act. In 2018, the Department of Community Affairs, who is the agency that is deemed by the governor to carry out the planning process, came up with a set of minimum planning standards. And those minimum planning standards tell us what parts are supposed to be within the comprehensive plan. Some of those you will see there as up on the screen are the goals, vision, needs, opportunities, and policies. Also, a work program is in there, and we will also have a land use section in there. And we could also have many other sections to the plan as we go along and as we see fit and as we see needed. This is a complex looking chart, but it's mainly just a schedule of the comprehensive plan as it will go along. It's going to be a 15-month process because of the size of the county and all of the local governments in it. I need to mention that Lowndes County is the designated local government to serve as the leader of the comprehensive plan process. That's why we're holding the public hearing with you all tonight. However, we will involve all of the other municipalities in the county as well. So we will have all 6 governments involved together, 5 municipalities and the county working together. Tonight is the first step, August 12th kickoff. And in September, we will be doing what's called stakeholder development. We will be asking the county and all of the city governments to share with us all of the elected officials who would be willing to participate in the process, all of the appointed officials. And also, we will be asking those local governments to help us with business owners, connections to hospitals, universities, the Air Force Base, other connections that we need to make to get stakeholders on that list. And we also want citizens on that list as well. The Department of Community Affairs has an engagement process, a stakeholder engagement process that includes not only elected officials, appointed officials, business people, and the general public as well. So we will be really working on that. We have a series of 6 workshops set up. We may use all of them, we may not use all of them. It's going to be determined as the process goes along to see how fast things progress, but we have a potential of 6 workshops. Those workshops would be starting in October of 2025 and run 1 workshop a month through March of 2026. And after the workshops, we would have in April a draft of the comprehensive plan. In May of 2026, we would be working with land use for the comprehensive plan. And in June 2026, we would have a more formal draft of the plan that we should be able to share out with the general public and all of the governments involved. After that, on July 14th, we will need to have a second public hearing referred to as the transmittal public hearing. That public hearing would be where it's a formal, another legal step where the county and all of the cities involved in the plan would formally adopt a resolution to transmit the plan to the Southern Georgia Regional Commission for review, and then the Regional Commission will transmit the plan to Department of Community Affairs for review and comment on the plan. They would have, Department of Community Affairs would have several weeks to review the plan, and then they would send us back the findings. And we have the adoption planned for October 13th of 2026, which would be a county commission meeting. Do you all have any questions about the timeline or anything so far? Okay, so I just asked if you had questions, but then it says questions. But what I do want to just share with you, this is a copy of the current comprehensive plan. I'm sure you all have seen it, you've used it, it's been a planning document. It has about 1 more year of life in it. I do need to tell you tonight that not only do we need to update the comprehensive plan for 2 reasons, and that is it's for qualified local government, but we do that for 2 reasons. We have the plan as a planning tool for the county and for all the municipalities involved. It will last for 5 years and be a guidebook for planning and activities. And it also, the adopted plan will keep the county and all of the cities within qualified local government status. And qualified local government status keeps the county and all of the cities in, keeps the county and the cities to have the ability to tap into state funding sources like CDBG, Housing Trust Fund, GFA, which is Georgia Environmental Finance Authority for sewer loans, economic development funding, bond allocation program, DDRLF, which is Downtown Development Revolving Loan Fund, and a number of other programs. So not only is it mandated by the state to have the plan in place, it gives you qualified local government, which keeps you hooked up to all of the funding resources that you and all of the cities need and depend on, and it serves as a guiding tool for the county and for the cities. And I need to mention one extra piece. It's not exactly part of the comprehensive plan, but the service delivery strategy is going to be, it will expire at the same time as the comprehensive plan does. So we're looking at October 31, 2026, expiration for the comprehensive plan and for the service delivery. So the Regional Commission will give you any forms that you might need for service delivery strategy development, answer any questions that you might have for service delivery, And we will, once you get the documents put together, we will upload the documents for you to the state, to Department of Community Affairs, so that service delivery can be extended. So I just wanted to make you all aware that service delivery is also due at the same time as the comprehensive plan, and the financial incentives and permitting attached to service delivery is even stronger than that is attached to qualified local government with the comprehensive plan. All right, any questions?
Any questions?
Was the service delivery strategy plan and this plan a 10-year deal and not 5-year?
The service delivery is a 10-year plan, and the comprehensive plan is a 5-year plan. So every other comprehensive plan, the service delivery comes due, and it is coming due.
Triggers it every other year, every other cycle.
Right, every other cycle.
Thank you.
Paige, I know we talked about this at retreat, but could we get this emailed, the comprehensive plan to us, so we have it at the top of our feed?
Absolutely, we certainly can. We intend on contacting everyone. We will certainly share the current document with you if you don't have a copy, and we will be asking you to serve, hopefully, on the steering committee for the comprehensive plan update. So we look forward to working with you all. We're excited about this wonderful process that we're about to embark on updating your plan, and think it will be a valuable document for you and for all the cities for future growth and development.
And will y'all be having meetings in different areas of the county or different municipalities to have locations?
We can certainly do that. Those are, the locations are basically undecided at this point. The meeting times are the first Wednesday of usually the month of those 6 months, and we can have them in the morning time. Sometimes we can have them in the evening time. We can have a special workshop if you all deem that necessary after 5 o'clock for working people who might want to attend. All these things at this point are very fluid and to be decided, so we will be working on all of those things after this meeting. But this meeting today gives us the authority to start charging towards the plan and working on the plan actively.
Thank you for your efforts.
Thank you.
James, one quick question. I noticed it said August and September DCA review.
Right.
So technically, we need to be done by next July?
Yes, sir. We give them, they may take 2 months, they may not take 2 months, but we do know that they take at least a month, and with the size and complexity of this plan, it may be longer. So we will have a draft due, let me go back. We plan on having a draft due basically in June, sometime in June of 2026, as long as everything stays on tap. And the July 14th, 2026 would be the transmittal date, which means that we are completely in draft form and ready to adopt pending DCA's approval of the plan.
Typically, from my experience, they do a great job of keeping us on track and keeping the community aware. You mentioned about where the meetings are held. A lot of times that comes from citizen input as far as where they might have the next meeting held, that type of thing. So the Regional Commission has always done a fabulous job of moving that process along, making sure it gets completed on a timely manner so that we can get it submitted to DCA.
Absolutely.
Sounds like we need to start with the SDS now. Like yesterday.
I'm going to ask the attorney and Ms. Dukes, as a public hearing item, is there any other action from the commission that needs to be taken at this time? It's just.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you very much for your time. I'm excited to work with you all. I think this is going to be a great process. And to the public, if you all have any questions in respect of the commissioner's time, I think we shall move them outside of the room here for any questions for the general public. So we do want to talk to you, so please do catch us and we will talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. All right, we'll move on now to agenda item 8A, and this is the Georgia Department of Transportation's request for a permanent easement at 503 West Main Street in Hayhire. Mr. McLeod.
Yes, sir. Thank you. GDOT has a project in Hayhire that is labeled
SR7/SR122 from SR7 to CS38/Union Road in Hayhire sidewalks Lowndes. GDOT is requesting a permanent easement from Lowndes County for sidewalk construction and to maintain the slopes on that same parcel that Lowndes County owns, which is the Parrot Health Clinic at 503 West Main Street in Hayhire. The easement consists of 733.73 square feet. And GDOT has had the easement appraised and offered Lowndes County $2,600 for the easement. Staff has reviewed the easement, made a site visit, and does not see any negative impact. And this is, to clear things up, this is the health department facility in Hayhire.
And my understanding, this is a TIA project, and it's just an extension of sidewalk from downtown Hayhire all the way to Union Road for that sidewalk. And that's the reason for the right-of-way request. Okay? Are there any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the offer of $2,600 from GDOT and authorize you to sign the right-of-way acknowledgement form.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 8B is the FY 2026 joint funding agreement with USGS. Mr. Ty.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
As we discussed yesterday, this is an update of the funding agreement that has been in place since 2009 with the USGS. It provides for continued operation and maintenance of the stream gauge on the Little River over Highway 122 bridge just west of Hayhire, as well as the gauge over the Withlacoochee River at Skipper Bridge. So other than the slight increase in the funding amount, everything else is the same, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Mr. Ty? Thank you, Mr. Ty. Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we authorize you to sign a joint funding agreement with USGS for $29,750 operational.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 8C is the Moody Air Force Base Emergency Water Connection Easement and the Supplemental Agreement. Mr. Stalvey.
Yes, sir. An easement was granted by the Air Force in 2023 for the emergency backup water connection from Lowndes County to Moody Air Force Base. Due to unforeseen conflicts after construction began, it was agreed upon by all parties to slightly shift the path of this water main to avoid conflicts with the railroad and the electric duct bank. This easement is located on Moody Air Force Base just south of the Florida Road near the water plant. The Air Force has provided supplemental agreement number 1 for acceptance and signature, adjusting the easement to include the final location of the water main. Staff recommends approval and authorize the chairman to sign the supplemental agreement number 1.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stalvey. Any questions for Mr. Stalvey? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 8D is the Shiloh Road resurfacing and bridge replacement supplemental agreement number 1. Mr. McLeod.
Yes, sir. The original agreement dated 3/10/21 with GDOT has a not-to-exceed amount of $5,600,000 for the Shiloh Road resurfacing and bridge replacement. Staff has asked TIA office for an additional funding request to cover the difference between the actual cost of the project and the agreement amount, of which is $1,600,000. After reviewing the initial TIA budget, bid amount, and projected tax collections for TIA, the TIA office has agreed to provide additional funds of $1,600,000 to cover the total cost of the project.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. McLeod? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Chairman, I move we approve the
Okay, we have a motion to approve the supplemental agreement number 1. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries. All right, at the request of the chairman to add this agenda item, this will be, again, identified as 8E, and this is listed as the Animal Control Board. So, Ms. Dukes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners. Due to a recusal for an upcoming Animal Control Board hearing, an alternate is required. Our current ordinance, as well as state law, provides for alternates on the Animal Control Board. Ms. Amy Martin has expressed an interest in serving as an alternate capacity. This is timely tonight for you all's consideration because we do have a hearing coming up next Monday. So we will need an alternate in place due to that recusal. If you have any questions or need more information, I'm glad to provide it. Thank you.
Any questions? I'd also like to point out Ms. Martin is in the audience, and Amy, as always, thank you for stepping up and helping us out. We appreciate it.
Would it be 90? 90?
No, 9 is your bid items. 80 is still in just your items of consideration. So it's 80. What? Any other questions? Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
Nomination.
I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to open the floor for nominations.
Mr. Chairman, nominate Ms. Amy Martin.
Okay, we have Miss Amy Martin. Are there any other names, any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations, and Miss Martin will be appointed by acclamation. So thank you for keeping me straight.
Thank you, Ms. Martin, for all your community service involvement. Thank you.
All right, we'll now move to agenda item 9A, and this is the first of 2 bid items. The first one is the Shiloh Road resurfacing and bridge replacement, and the bids. Mr. McLeod.
Yes, sir, thank you. Shallow Road resurfacing and bridge replacement is a T-Splost 1 approved project. The project consists of a detour bridge, removal of the existing bridge, construction of a new bridge, relocation of the existing pump station, grading and resurfacing of 0.53 miles. The new bridge will be constructed at an elevation 11.6 feet higher than the existing bridge. Bids were opened on July 31st, and 2 bids were received. The Scruggs Company at $6,400,444.98. Reams and Son Construction, $6,494,433.42. The TIA office has reviewed these bids and given us a notice of construction notice to proceed based on their review of the bids.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. McLeod?
Chad, you said this is over Franks Creek? Is that
Yes, sir.
correct?
That is correct. Just past Valtech Road intersection.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the low bid.
Low bid.
To approve the low bid, do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you. Chad, I want to take a second and thank you for this project because this was very, because of the fact that that detour route would have been so long for all the folks that lived up there in that northwest corridor, working hard and diligently to make sure that that bypass bridge was part of the project. It's really going to save folks up there a lot of travel time. So
Yes, sir, I agree.
thank you for your hard work on that. All right, we'll now move on to agenda item 9B, and this is the Lowndes County Civic Centers. This is Hurricane Helene repairs. Mr. McLeod.
Yes, sir. The Lowndes County Civic Center sustained substantial damage during Hurricane Helene. Staff worked with Crews Engineering to inspect damage, review structural analysis, and complete and develop a plan and bid package. The bid includes removing the existing roof panels that remain, remove the wood purlins and installing metal purlins, installing a new metal roof, removing the drop ceiling that remains, and installing insulation beneath the new roof, and repairing the damaged lights. The project was advertised for bids, and the bids were opened on July 30th. We received 3 bids: Kellerman Construction, $318,030; 3D Construction Services, $381,565; and Standard Contractors, $440,481.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. McLeod?
Just recalling, I believe he said this insurance is paying this, right?
Yes, sir, that is
Okay.
correct.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Did the
What?
insurance payment cover what the bids are, or do we know, or how's that work?
So we get the adjustment amount back when the adjuster comes. Once we bid the project out, then if the bids were higher than what they sent us originally, we prepare an analysis along with Cruise Engineering to send that back to make up that difference.
So there's a contingency number for the insurance company.
That's right. And we gotta look at the overall amount we receive, because some projects, they will, out of the, I forgot how many projects, 40-something, that they will be over on some, under on some, so we have to marry that back together at the end.
Thank
So
you.
your claim is basically for all of the damage, not specifically
That's correct.
individual
That's correct,
claims?
yes,
All
That's
the
correct.
damages to
Yeah,
county
it's all
buildings.
encompassing.
Okay.
Now you know why we've all been pulling our hair out in the
I
last 2
understand,
years,
right.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chad, for all your efforts.
Oh, thank
So I
y'all.
hope-
There's a lot that goes
A
into
lot of
it.
different things, so thank you, so.
Mr. Ty? Okay. All right, any other questions? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve Kellerman Construction.
Do we have a motion to approve Kellerman Construction? Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries. All right, now we'll move on to agenda item 10. This is the county manager's report. Ms. Dukes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Staff has a meeting tomorrow at Second Harvest to understand more about the impact that current federal changes may have on our local nonprofits. We know that many of our local nonprofits are filling gaps in our community of needs and services that government can't. So we are very concerned with what those impacts are going to look like moving forward. So we'll bring additional information back to you all after that meeting. Also on Saturday from 9 to 1, one of our bicentennial events this year is a Made in Lowndes vendor market. So Ms. Barwick and her team have worked very hard to secure over 30 vendors that will be selling goods around the courthouse square from 9 to 1 on Saturday that have all been made or sourced here in Lowndes County. So we already have a great commitment from our team here that are going to be there. We hope that you all have time to bring your families out. Come downtown. We know that it's August, September will be here before you know it, but we're trying to get an early start for our small businesses on the shopping season. So we hope to see you there. Also come hungry. There'll be lots of great snacks. Also, we will be ready to set the millage rate at our next meeting. So if you all remember, the school board has to go first, so they'll be doing that on the 25th of August. So we will have all that information prepared for you on the 26th. But there will be additional information coming to you between now and then so that everyone has all their questions answered and everything that you need to make that consideration on the 26th. And the last thing that I have is DCA's Homeowner Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Program. The rules for that have come out. If you all remember several weeks ago, Ashley hosted a meeting at the Emergency Operations Center. Our DCA partners came down and provided us with some additional information there and said that they were still waiting on some rules and some contracts. You all have a flyer before you. I've also forwarded you all the email that we received from DCA. But this is just over $265 million statewide in additional funds for families that were impacted by Adelia, Debbie, and Helene, and it addresses single-family homeowners whose primary residence was damaged in the listed storms, households under low to moderate income thresholds, households with a member who is disabled, also homeowners who experienced a COVID hardship. So the rules are pretty broad here. Ms. Barwick also already has social media posts scheduled to get this out to the community. She and I met with on this today. So we just received the information earlier this afternoon, but our for department heads who may need to be knowledgeable in this, again, to be able to help our citizens will be spun up pretty quick as we dig through all this information. So if you all have constituents that have concerns or would like to participate in the programs, if you'll please send them our way, and then we will figure out, you know, how the program may be able to help them, or at least help them through the application process. So just let me know if we can help any of you on that. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dukes. Any questions for Ms. Dukes? All right, we'll now move on to our citizens wishing to be heard. We have one citizen, Mr. Jamie Parks. Please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Jamie Parks, 3367 Cedar Road, Valdosta, Georgia, 31601. I'm here tonight to ask you, we have been going in front of the Board of Equalization, and we do not know what they do. They cannot change a decision made from the tax assessor. So why do we have to go in front of this board before we go to Superior Court?
Well, I don't really have the right, I can get you an answer to all that, and I'm sure it has to do with statute as much as anything as far as what the process is. As a taxpayer, once your property is assessed, of course, you can speak to the assessors, and I'm just speaking from experience, about your issue. And then if you want to, if you disagree with what their value is, then yes, your option is to go to the Board of Equalization, and they can hear it from there, and then I think you actually have a choice of either hearing it there at that point or going straight to Superior Court. Mr.
Yes, we can go to arbitration after that, but my question is, when this board can make no decisions or change the assessors,
And why can they, that's the first I've heard that they don't make a decision.
that's exactly what they tell us. And neither one of them, we have rental properties, and they will not consider our income, which is against the law.
Is authorized to determine the fair market value of the property in an amount different than was determined by the Board of Tax Assessors.
They might not do it to your satisfaction, but they have the authority to do it.
According to them, they have no authority,
Okay, all right.
is what I'm saying.
Okay, so is that all you've got to,
Yeah, I just would like to have some help
okay,
from you to oversee these boards so that we can get a fair hearing.
well, this board is actually, we don't appoint board members. I will tell you that we don't.
I
appoint any of
understand
these
that,
board
but
members.
you
They're
do
appointed
oversee it correctly.
by the grand jury.
Don't oversee the Board of
So who oversees the Board of
They're
Equalization?
independent and separate on their own, and that's for a reason,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any other business? Commissioners, questions, comments? Like to-
Motion to dismiss.
I'm sorry?
Motion to dismiss.
We have a motion then to adjourn.